he's on pace to. He is on pace to have more vetoes during his term than Donald Trump. He's had 9 so far. Trump had 10 over his full term. So he's got a whole year really just to get one more. Very likely he's going to hit that and exceed it. Obama over 2 terms had just 12 vetoes. So Biden could presumably pass both of them in the number of vetoes he's issued. He's also issued more than 24 veto threats since taking office. So yeah, I had a headline the other day, Veto Joe, as he's on pace to outdo them in this area.
Welcome to Reporter's Notebook, where we talk to the Washington Examiner's top journalists about the stories breaking on their beats. I'm Jim Antle, and I'm joined today by White House reporter Haisten Willis. Haisten, President Biden may now be known as Veto Joe. Talk a little bit about the milestone he's set.
He hasn't set his milestone yet, but he's on pace to. He is on pace to have more vetoes during his term than Donald Trump. He's had 9 so far. Trump had 10 over his full term. So he's got a whole year really just to get one more. Very likely he's going to hit that and exceed it. Obama over 2 terms had just 12 vetoes. So Biden could presumably pass both of them in the number of vetoes he's issued. He's also issued more than 24 veto threats since taking office. So yeah, I had a headline the other day, Veto Joe, as he's on pace to outdo them in this area.
And I mean, that's somewhat interesting given that Republicans have really only controlled the House for now a little over a year, and Democrats have always had the Senate the whole time President Biden's been in office. But there have been enough pieces of legislation that have made it to the president's desk from DeVito.
Right, yeah, it's been really interesting looking at that. Right, both Trump and Obama, I believe, started with Congress and their party's control and then lost it the way Biden has. But right. Biden, anything that's gotten to his desk has gone through a democratically controlled Senate, and that's something that Republicans have talked about a lot. Why is he even doing this? You know, some of the will of the people. This has gone through the democratically controlled Senate.
Sure.
One thing he's done with the veto threats is, though, he's been pretty aggressive about these, I guess wanting to posture or something. If it passes the House, a lot of times he'll go ahead and say he's going to veto it without it getting to the Senate. So that's why I get the discrepancy. More than 24 veto threats, just 9 vetoes. Either way, he's been pretty aggressive here. We'll see if it has any consequences for him. I mean, one big thing with him is he's campaigned a lot about being, a norm respecter, bipartisan, that kind of thing. But if you're issuing all these vetoes that have gone through Congress, gone through the people's elected representatives, are you really upholding that?
One other norm that questions have been raised about over the last week or so has been sort of gotten a lot of attention because of the availability of Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin. And there's now been talk from the White House about requiring cabinet secretaries to say where they are and when they're going to be unavailable. And a lot of people look at that and say, wasn't that already a rule?
Yeah, strange story all the way around, right? You're talking about Lloyd Austin, the defense secretary, who was hospitalized for several days without anybody knowing about it. Kind of shades of Pete Buttigieg when he took that long leave of absence.
Sure.
And nobody knew about that back in, I think, 2021. So yeah, there's been a big protocol reviews, what they've kind of announced they're going to do. You have to check in, say where you are. And yeah, I think people are asking the same question you are. Well, why didn't you have to do that before? How is it even possible, especially with all these foreign conflicts going on, that he could be gone for that long, even during the holiday season, without people knowing about it?
So Hunter Biden, the president's son, has kind of gone on the offensive PR-wise as congressional Republicans are scrutinizing him as he's under multiple indictments. So the president's son has been to D.C., his lawyer has been with him. Talk a little bit about both what Hunter has done and also why this might be an awkward situation for the White House.
It's awkward all the way around, for sure. Just like the other one, I guess, was strange all the way around. Yeah, it's kind of Hunter Biden week this week, depending on which news outlet you like to watch and that kind of thing. Yeah, he made an appearance on Capitol Hill, surprise appearance yesterday, and abruptly left the hearing as well. Made a lot of noise. People were kind of really shocked by that, and then has to appear the next day on tax charges. So just a lot of noise around Hunter. Pictures of him. He made some statements when people were following him out of the hearing. He made some statements to the press. Have gotten a lot of attention. Interestingly, with this as well, is that President Biden has had no appearances Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. Hasn't done anything. So he's not really doing anything to kind of soak up any of the attention, leaving reporters like me free to do all the Hunter Biden coverage they want. Now, the counterpoint to this, I talked to our Democratic strategist just a minute ago. He said that he doesn't think that the American people are really that tuned in to Hunter Biden the way that the Republican Party is. He pointed to the debate between Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis. in Iowa, and obviously Trump's antics. He's also got court stuff going on pretty much all the time right now, but including this week. He thinks people are paying more attention to that. Therefore, President Biden being silent is going to amplify those potentially negative stories rather than the Hunter stuff. We'll see what happens.
Keep everybody on the hunt.
That's right.
Thank you, Haisten. You can read Haisten and the rest of our political team's coverage at washingtonexaminer.com.